here. Let me see here. Get this here camera on. Get this here. I didn't get the film today, so let me see here. Didn't get the film, so I said, you know what? Got to go live. I had to take some time off last week. I missed a day or two when my friend passed away, and we weren't like super close. I had just met him like a year ago, but it still hits you hard when somebody you know personally and talk to and then sat down with and talked with. And so it was a good time to take a little break. And I've been serving all day long, probably had 6, 7 coaching calls today. And my finger is on the pulse right now of just what's going on out here in these love and relationships and all of those things, and just having a finger on the pulse and being able to see what people are going through. And what we're doing right now is the one-on-one relationship coaching. And in that relationship coaching sessions, I'm just getting to learn just a lot about what people are experiencing and what people are dealing with, struggling with. And what I'm finding is that there are a lot of single women, a lot of single women, and a lot of single women who aren't being approached. A lot of single women who, when they get approached, they getting approached by bums. They getting approached by men who just don't have good intentions. And just the stuff I'm hearing from just everyday real life women. And more than ever, I'm meeting a lot of women who have the three B's and single. But not only the three B's, but even in the B of the brain, of like understanding things and learning men, learning women, learning love. I'm noticing that a lot of these women have good temperaments. Like they know how to listen. They know how to, receive feedback. And then you have others who don't, but it's a small. I could count on one hand how many of the women I'm talking to who got the three B's, so to speak, and don't know how to listen, or don't know how to. And when I say that, meaning listening to feedback, listening to the male perspective. You have some people who they want the male perspective, but they don't want to hear the reality of what it is. And I'm noticing too that a lot of times, sometimes people actions don't match what they say they want or what's coming out of their mouth. And I notice when women say, "Oh, I'm a good catch," but then move like a disease. Like, yeah, good catch, catching a disease, unprotected sex and things of that nature, and not having a relationship and sleeping with men, and it's coming from a space of desperation. And that's why I believe it was 2012 I wrote the book Single is Not a Curse, because what I want you to understand is that it's one thing to desire love, but it's a difference between desiring love and being desperate for love. To desire love, you will prepare for love. You will do the work that needs to be done. You'll work on the three B's when you desire love. When you desperate for love, you will lose your way. You won't think straight. You will be sleeping with a man that's not your man. That you're not, he hasn't said, "Will you be my girlfriend?" He hasn't shown you consistency of being around you day day in, day out, face on, face up, and showing you consistency and showing you to the world, posting you on his Instagram, posting you on his Facebook, got a picture of you and him on his phone lock screen, walking around town with you. He hasn't done those things, and if you sleeping with a man who hasn't done those things, you operating from a space of desperation. If you having sex outside of marriage, you're operating from a space of desperation. If you having unprotected sex outside of marriage, you operating from a space of double desperation. You desperate Debbie. If you having sex and unprotected sex with a man and it's outside of marriage and y'all not even boyfriend, girlfriend, you triple desperate. If a man can run in and out your life, meaning he could cut you off, come back to you a week later, 2 weeks later, a month later, sleep with you without a title, with no protection, you quadruple desperate. And a man does not respect it. He don't respect it. And what you got to understand about men is a man will take from you and not tell you otherwise. A man will accept what you give him and not respect you. So if you will sleep with a man who is not your husband, he is not going to stop you, because he is just as nasty as you are. So if you're asleep with a man, he's not going to tell you, hey, you shouldn't sleep with me if I haven't asked you, will you be my girlfriend? You shouldn't sleep with me. So if I haven't said to you, hey, will you be my girlfriend? And if I haven't shown you on my Instagram, shown you on my Facebook, introduce you to my mama, if I haven't done all this, you shouldn't sleep with me. He's not going to tell you that. He's going to put you right on your back. If he get ready to sleep with you and he don't put on protection and you let him get ready to insert himself into you, he's not going to say, hey, do you know you shouldn't let me insert myself into you without a condom? Do you know that means that you're dirty and that you are just as dirty as me? Do you know that means you're desperate? Do you know that means you're naive? Or do you know that means you're dumb? He's not going to say that to you. He's finna put that dirty stick right in you because he dirty too. Nobody is coming to save you. A man is not fixing to look out for your best interest if you're not his wife or even his fiance or his girlfriend. He's not coming to look out for your best interest and gonna say, hey, I know your daddy didn't tell you this, but I want to tell you that you shouldn't do this right here on the first date, or you shouldn't do this without a title, or you shouldn't do this. He gonna let you do every little thing that you want to do. And guess what, Vanessa? Majority of men and women who are in fornication are not using protection. And the reason how I know is because my finger on the pulse and I'm getting letters and having coaching sessions every day, all day, and majority of the people not using protection. So that's why Coach Amber, not Amber Johnson, Coach Amber, I think Spratt and something else, Spratt Jones or something like that, but she coach on herpes. She had them retired from my mentor.life website you see behind me. She had to come back out of retirement. She had to come out of retirement because it's an uptick in herpes. Because a lot of men and women not taking the lesson from the coaches who have contracted it from being in fornication or in an unfaithful marriage or engagement. And so these coaches coming out trying to help, and they like, listen, you know, this how you got to navigate this thing. This what you got to do. This how you date. And so now they having to help, you know, men and women who have contracted it, help them in their dating life. But then they also sharing their story, trying to get people, trying to prevent other people from contracting an incurable STD. But it's a lot going on. And the thing about it is it's so many men and women who are claiming to be men and women of God. AT, put your phone up. Yeah. Okay, what you eating? Mama bowl. Why you eating your mama bowl? She's full. She ain't full. That's love. Because she just told me not to eat it. She said she didn't want it anymore. She lied. Because you say you hungry. You need to stop punking your mama. I didn't say I was hungry. She said that you want something. Uh-huh. That's love. Go tell her I love you, mama. Because she just told me not to eat it. I wasn't even going to eat it. Well, I didn't say I was hungry. Go tell her how much you love her. Tearing a bowl up. And so here's the thing. It's like, it's so many men and women who is claiming to be men and women of God. And they in fornication. And then it's so many men and women. When I say men, I'm talking about millions. I'm talking about millions. And they not only in fornication, but they in unprotected sex. And it's like, come on now. It's 2024. It's practically 2025. If you have an unprotected sex in 2024, in the last quarter of 2024, going into 2025, you got to slap yourself. You have got to get you a handful of baby powder. And you got to slap yourself. You got to. And so that's what you got to realize now. Brianne, I really don't be speaking on people. And I don't know who Tiffany is, but whoever she is, you got to ask her, is she single? So if she's single, then she don't know what's keeping you single. Because if she's single, then she might have a covenant that's keeping her single. So that's like the Bible say, get the plank out of your eye. So before you try to help your neighbor get the speck of dust out of their eye. So if somebody can't get married, it ain't a season yet, and ain't nothing wrong with that, because single is not a curse. But those people should not be giving advice to other singles about covenants and what's keeping them single if they still single, and especially still single and don't want to be single. So that in that case, it need to be a kumbaya. Let's start us a support circle, and let's sit here and talk about our single experience, not let me be the single expert to talk down to the other singles who not as good with words. And so that's what you got to realize. And see, so this is the thing. That's why I say, you know, single is not a curse. Enjoy your single season. Don't feel like something wrong with you if you doing what you supposed to do as a single. If you working on your brain, your brand, and your body, the 3 B's, you maximizing your single life and you doing what you supposed to be doing as a single, and that's not a curse. And stay in that space as long as you could stay in that space if you have control over fornication. You've gotten the strength to where you cannot be in fornication and you cannot be in masturbation. If you have to be in fornication or masturbation, then you need to be positioning yourself and aligning yourself for a relationship so that you don't need those things and you could get into a relationship. And you have to be assertive and intentional about getting in a relationship if you're struggling with masturbation or fornication. Now, if you're not struggling and you have gained strength in those areas and you able to live your life without struggling with that, now you in a place where your single life is a blessing. And what you have to do in your single life when you are overcoming masturbation and fornication, you then have to focus on your purpose, your calling, why you are here. And you have to become so inundated, so immersed in a purpose pursuit that you don't have the time to be longing for a relationship. The only time you should be longing for a relationship is when you are in a place to where you're going to keep falling into sin. That's why the Bible says better to marry than to burn. Because while you in that sin, the Lord could come back. If the Lord come back while you in that willing sin, you might be seen as separated from him. We don't know, that's his judgment call. But when you have gained strength and wisdom and knowledge and understanding and clarity, you understand your strengths, you understand your weaknesses, you understand where you are, then focus on your purpose. Every single person, I just had my dad start me a new nonprofit organization that I'm gonna be using for my reading centers for the kids. And I'm married and I'm in purpose. Right now, I walked in the house, I was on the phone with my mom. I said, Mom, I got to go to work. She said, you got to go to work again? She was like, didn't you just say you just finished work? I said, yeah, I got to work again because I ain't got my video up today. I'm in purpose. And my wife won't miss me. We've been married 17 years, so she know when I get off of here, I'm going to be right in the room. That's why I'm shooting from home instead of the corporate office around the corner, because I could just get off here just like that. So how is a married man on purpose and focus on purpose, but then singles who got all the time in the world to focus on purpose just be focusing on relationships? And now one of the things that I'm noticing about a lot of women is that your job has stolen your creativity. Your job is killing your purpose. And because your job is killing your purpose and you don't have the energy and the creativity and the wherewithal to focus on your nonprofit organization helping young girls in your city, it's making you long for a husband so that he can relieve you from your financial duties and relieve you from your job so that he could put a baby in you, or y'all adopt the baby and you get to leave your job because you're thinking that if you get to leave your job, you're going to have the mental space capacity to focus on your God-given purpose, when you have to learn how to balance the dream and the job, the purpose and the job. I wrote about that in my book, The Dream Chaser. I didn't title it that because that's Meek Mill's name, The Dream Chaser. But the white publishers, they titled it that. They probably didn't know Meek Mill. And I just ran with it. So go on Amazon and get The Dream Chaser. And when you read that, you're going to see you have to balance the dream and the job until the dream becomes the job. And so you have to occupy your time when you are a single. See, the thing about with companies and the thing about your purpose and the thing about business is there are so many levels to it. If your business have not bought you a yacht yet, then you still got work to do. If your business ain't bought you a jet yet, you still got work to do. And even when it gets you a yacht and a jet, you still got work to do. And I'm just using that example because it's not literal. But meaning, if your nonprofit ain't bringing in $1 million a year in donation, you got work to do. If you ain't bringing in 5 million, you got work to do. So when you tap into your purpose, the work is never done. It's always another level. So you should be so inundated in that to where your potential spouse have to jump out the bush on you. It got to jump out the bush on you. Hey, excuse me. Hey, excuse me. Hey, excuse me. Hey, how you doing? They got to jump out and they got to stop you. They got to get your attention because you so locked in. You so focused. And then you have to be able to tell them, hey, now it's amazing to meet you now, but I'm on the grind right now. So I need you to understand that I got to get this. I got to get some legs up under this here company. And it got to be able to stand on its own too before I really could lock all the way in with you. Now, we could talk every day. We could build. We could go on a date a week. But I'm building this over here now. And when you building that, guess what's going to happen? You're going to look more attractive to your potential spouse. See, don't nobody want, in 2025, don't nobody want to be with somebody who doesn't have ambition. If you go to work and you come home and you tired and you drained and you don't have a sense of purpose, you don't have a sense of ambition, you're not giving your days direction, you don't have a day plan, you don't have times that you eat, times that you meditate, times that you read, times that you pray, times that you work out. If your days are not directed down to the quarter of an hour or half hour, then you are failing. You living beneath your means. You're not operating at your highest level. And if you single, that's detrimental to you because nobody wants to be your Superman or your Superwoman. People want to come into your life and y'all hitch up together and y'all can run this here marathon together. Nobody want to come into your life and rescue you. Nobody want to come in your life and they got to pick you up and carry you. They want to be able to come in your life and y'all hold hands and y'all run together. They want to come in your life and y'all team up and y'all get going together. They don't want to come in your life and they got to pick you up, put you on their back. They got to be your life coach, your therapist, your accountability partner, your sponsor. And so now you a headache because you ain't got the 3 B's, the brains, the brand, and the body. And so the thing about it is with y'all women now, because it's not the same for men now. I know y'all be, oh, that go both ways. No, some stuff is a one-way street. Not everything go both ways. Oh, that go both ways. No, it don't. These men not out here desperate for no relationship. You got to force them into a relationship. We having to put these men, these podcasters on yellow couches and at the table. We got to put them in full Nelsons. It's like even the 2 young men in Atlanta who doing the podcast and every single episode is about relationships. Both of them still single. We still can't even get them married. They still single. And so it's like, here go the podcasters doing relationship interviews every single day for clicks and views, but these men is still single. We got to get the Dusty Roll elbow. Any of y'all remember Dusty Roll elbow? We got to get the Dusty Roll elbow on these men. But then with women, we having to give women Gatorade showers. And it ain't for a championship. It's for dehydration, for being so thirsty for a man. It's women out here so thirsty for a man, they is drinking the dirty bath water of their homosexual boyfriend. This women is plucking men out of the green card line and come here, need a husband. This women practically on the street corner holding a sign, will work for marriage, will cook for a man. And it's like, come on now, when you get on your purpose, when you get on them 3 B's, brains, brand, body, a man finna be chasing you. He finna be trying to drink that chocolate shake out the yard with the milkshake, bringing the boys to the yard. He fixing to be licking the asphalt that your foot just rolls up off of. He behind you when you chasing purpose. But when you sitting there and you trying to perfect your duck lips, you trying to perfect duck lip all on Instagram, looking a fool. It's like so many women is showing a man they duck face and the little booty poked out instead of posting, what book is you reading? What building are you looking at to rent for your nonprofit? What courses are you taking? What college classes are you in? These men don't want to see a hump of booty every other post. They don't want to see a lump of breast every other post. These single men who is working for the Lord, they looking for a woman who is about her purpose. See, the thing about it is, so many women talking about Proverbs 31, and it's acting like a Proverbs 5 thought, and keep hollering about Proverbs 31, Proverbs 31. You is Proverbs 39, and that does not exist. So when you look at the Proverbs 31 woman, the key, if you had to give that thing one word, you're going to say purposeful, or you're going to say intentional, or you're going to say focused, or you're going to say driven. But see, so many women today in Proverbs 39, the word we come up with is desperate. And this is what I have to tell women like this. Listen. If you want to talk, if you want to do a session about relationships, just do the session about relationships, the coaching session. Don't get on the coaching session pretending to want to talk about business. And then in the 59th minute of a 1 hour call, Tony, can I ask you a little question about the relationship? No, you should have asked that in minute 1. It's minute 59. Why did we waste all this time talking about this business that you not finna build because you really want to talk about a man? Listen, it's nothing wrong with you wanting a man. It is nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with you desiring love, desiring to be a wife. It is wrong when you get desperate for it. And see, to combat desperation, you got to get active. You have to be busy. It's so many women that are saying they want a husband, but they go to work and they go home. They go to work and they go home, or they work from home. How you want a man and you don't get out the house, And then when you get out the house, you on the phone with your mama or your best friend. So you out and about, your husband walking beside you, he get close enough to see what you working with, and he hear you, yeah, I'm just so sick and tired of this dead end job. Oh my goodness. It's just, my goodness. And your wig, you scratching that wig keep doing like this. And it, mama, why do you always, oh, my lash fell out. Mom, you get on my nerve. You got trauma bond. And so the man, he getting ready to shoot his shot. He can't even shoot his shot because you on the phone. Girl, you need to leave him. I was just listening to Tony Gaskin video that said singling not occur. And the man getting ready to holler at you, he can't even holler at you. Because you just got out the house one day out the week. If you is single and you want a relationship, you need to have a LLC or a INC. You need to be a limited liability company, or you need to be incorporated. Otherwise, you're not ready to be no wife. Because when you meet a man of God, he finna say, well, what have you been doing? What have you been doing? Why you been single? What you been twiddling your thumb? And then he say, what's your IG? He go to IG, all he see is duck fade. He just see duck fade. He don't see now LLC, now DBA. He can't find a website. What's your website? Oh, feetpics.com, onlyfans.com. It's like, come on now, ma'am, what have you been doing? So it's like, listen, you got to understand that if you want you a husband, you got to get active. Because a man, he want a partnership. He want a partnership. He don't want to be an angel investor. And no, he don't want to do charity. At least angel investor, you get a return maybe if it work out. He ain't coming to do charity. Yeah, so what do? I'm a customer service rep. Huh? Customer service? Oh, okay, all right. Well, how do you like that? You know how, what is that like? Okay, you answer a lot of calls? Oh, okay, all right. Well, you doing anything on the side? Well, I'm just so drained. And so now the man like, okay. So this is the thing. You have to occupy your time, because see, if you occupy your time, then you don't have to get on a live to learn about the covenants that's keeping you single. You like what somebody wrote in the chat box, somebody talking about covenants. You ain't got to worry about the covenants that's keeping you single. If you is active, if you occupying your time. And see, that's the thing. The covenant that's keeping you single is your false prophetess. That's what's keeping you single, because you're getting them spirits on you. Your false prophetess got them spirits on you. So now when the man come, he see horns. He looking at you, and he all the profanity you using, got a nasty combative spirit. He's trying to have a normal conversation with you, and you trying to order at the restaurant. Yes, I would like the Hundrosi. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Ooh, excuse me. Excuse me, do you have a monitoring spirit? Why are you Hundrosi? And so now the man can't even sit down and have no date with you because you with your false prophetess learning about the covenants that's keeping you single. So now he trying to have a regular conversation with you. So how was your day? Whoo, Handrosi, whoo, Handrosi. I've just been warned in the spirit. It's just so many monitoring spirits out here. It's just like, ooh, Handro. And so this is what I'm trying to tell you. But if you got a company and you filling out grant proposals and you developing programs and you creating marketing materials on Canva and you running your Instagram and your LinkedIn and your business Facebook page and your TikTok, and you setting up your ads, your advertisements, and you got your pixels put on your site, and you doing your retargeting, and you taking classes about how to run ads and how to retarget and how to create your funnels and how to get grants for your business. Now you too busy to be fake speaking in tongues or to be worrying about monitoring spirits or to be on live streams with people who not married or people trying to get you married but can't get themselves married, and then talking to you about covenants, and they ain't even got no covenant but with bafflingness. And so now you sitting and you wondering why you single. It's because you listening to people who single talk about covenants that got you single. So now that's why you single. See, the proof in the pudding. The seed to the solution is in the problem. You listening to the problem. And that's why you can't solve your problem, because you go into your problem to listen to your problem about your problem. So it ain't no solution. So now you got single men and women, meaning unmarried men and women, producing content for you about being married. And the reason why they're producing content about you being married is because they know that you are desperate. And so while you are desperate, that's how they could get you to sow a seed, because you sowing for your husband. So now you sowing for your husband, you sowing super chats with the hopes that your super chat will get read so that maybe your husband will see you, but not realizing that your husband looking at you on the singles live stream about being married, even though the people talking, the host and the guests, are single. So your potential husband looking at your super chat on the super single symposium for stupid singles who want to stay single, and he just getting a kick. He just like, wow. So she's single and she desperate and she giving her money away and she got no LLC. Man, I got to go. Child, man, I got to go. This woman crazy. And so now, but see, guess what? I'm going to tell you one of the most attractive things to a man is an ambitious woman. The woman ain't even got to be making no money. An ambitious woman that's more attractive to a man than a woman with a perfect body and perfect skin and perfect hair. You can have split ends. Your edges could be pushed back from that glue you keep putting up there. You can have that wig that be moving when you scratching your head. You could be doing this all right there, right here. But if you got that LLC and you got ambition, that's attractive to a man. But see, y'all worried about single covenants. Y'all is listening to witchcraft. Y'all is listening to witchcraft and getting spells put on you while you listening to the witchcraft. I was listening to the conversation the other day, and y'all missed some of my videos. I listened to the conversation the other day between the two men, and they on the podcast with the two single men, meaning unmarried. And the two single men, they say they working on their relationship with the Lord. The conversation with the two men was so low level that one of the hosts, he backslid on the show, went back to cursing. He went back to cursing. And he was cursing while they was talking about the Bible. He was like, well, actually, I done forgot why the H. We in Genesis 3. I say, oh my goodness. This conversation is so stupid. They done made this man backslide. I say, boy, look here. But this is what is keeping y'all entertained. And so what's happening is they're keeping you single by entertaining you with word salad. And none of what you learning is pushing you forward. Because you're not learning about how to build no business. You're not learning about how to occupy your days, how to give your days direction. You're learning about so-called covenants that's keeping you single. And ain't learned nothing but word salad. And so you sitting there and you got so much fiber in you from the word salad, you can't even get nothing done in your life because your mind is bombarded with your single desperation, so you cannot be focused and driven on your purpose. And see, the thing about it is a man don't care how much money you make unless he a gold digger. He don't care how successful your business is. But the fact that you are occupying your days, the fact that you're not sitting in your house, the only time you should be in your house when you single and you desiring a relationship is when you going to sleep. Outside of that, you need to be in groups and organizations and life groups. You need to be at Starbucks, at Barnes & Noble, at the mall. You need to be at seminars, at conferences. You need to be organizing stuff. You need to be a part of stuff that's organized. You need to be out your house. You go to your house to go to sleep. You need to be see, if you single, you ought to have a gym membership and you ought to go to the gym every day. Well, Tony, and then you got to let your body rest. Go in there and work your ankles. If you didn't work yesterday, you did your calves. Today, work your ankles. You did your shoulders and your back, work your elbows. You ought to be in the gym every day. What else you doing? Being lazy. Being lazy. So the more you out, the more people you're going to meet. So why are you sitting at the house talking about you want a relationship? That don't make no sense. You think the man finna come to the doorbell, and so now, because you don't want to get out the house, you is trying to hit on the UPS man. And he married. You sitting there, you done had so many fantasies about the UPS man coming and putting some pole on you one day when he dropped that package off. You all at the door, face glistening with your robe on. Hey, oh, I didn't know you were here. So sorry. I was just opening the door to check. Oh, you grabbing the man's hand. Sorry. Excuse me, man. Here go your boss. Hey, is everything okay with you, man? All right, y'all work so hard with UPS. Do you want to come in and have a cold glass of water? And so now you done had so many fantasies about the delivery man because you don't want to get out the house. Because you at the house on a computer listening to single people tell you how to get married and how to come out of single covenants. so you could get married, but they single as a dollar bill. And see, this the thing. That right there is your problem. But when you get on your purpose and you get focused and you give your days direction and you get off of your behind, you get off your behind and you close your legs and you cut off that phone, you cut off that computer, and you get out the house and you walking. You can meet your spouse walking through your neighborhood every day because your spouse coming home from work and they see you walking every day. You walking, and that stomach keep getting flatter and flatter, legs getting firmer and firmer, and he see you. Boom. One day he gonna get the courage to be walking at the same time, strike up that conversation. Boom, just because you out the house. You at the house, don't nobody even know somebody live there because they'll never see you coming and going. And so sit down and get you a planner. Get you a planner and make sure that you give your tomorrow's direction today. Make sure that when you get paid, you're not just investing in red velvet cake and Applebee's 2 for $20 and you eating both of them, but you are investing in your LLC or your INC. Then you getting your website, you getting your business card. You ain't got to sell a thing, but you got it. Your season gonna come. You ain't made $1, but you got it. Don't nobody know. It look good. But you've been busy, you've been active, and then your season gonna come to where you could sell. The way you could make something. Somebody might come to you and you done had this business. You done got all these cards ordered or whatever, this deck of cards that you selling or whatever it is you selling, you got all that, you got 1,000 of them just sitting there, and then boom, one day you meet somebody and they say, hey, I love that right there, what you got. I want to order 2,000 of them from a corporation. I want to order 100 of them for the church. Okay, boom, here you go, boom. And so now, there you go. You set up, but see, you had it in order. So everything that you need, you've been working on it. So now, the thing about it is, it's a lot of women going to the table, and I ain't talking about fornicating podcasters. A lot of women going to the table, and all they got to offer is desperation. And the man like, okay, so yeah, so you know, what have you been up to and what do you do? Okay, yeah, I work in HR, or I work in tech, or I work in software, or I'm an anesthesiologist. Okay, all right, cool, that's cool, all right. Any hobbies? Well, sitting at home. Oh, okay. Do you get out ever? Yeah, I check my mailbox. Oh, okay. All right. Let's see. Do you go to church? Handrosi. And so this the thing what you got to understand. Give your day's direction. Get a planner. Get your day planner. I got a client in my year coaching program. She creating a planner. And I'll be promoting it here soon when it get done. Get your planner and get your day's direction. So now you could do something. Now, when it's time for a relationship, you got all your ducks in a row. You done did what you need to do. So if you got to sit down, you able to sit down because you've been putting in work. So understand what you have to do and block anything that's going to make you desperate for a relationship. See, I'd rather have you not want a relationship so that you could prepare than for you to be desperate for a relationship. Because see, desperation is only a productive emotion when your life on the line. Desperation in love, in relationships, is a weak emotion, and it produces weak results. And it's going to cost you every time. So listen to me. Get your life together. We're going to be off of here in 10 minutes. And start guarding your gates. Guard your gates. Guard your gates. And what I mean by that is what you want to do is you want to make sure what you watching, what you listening to. You got to exercise the scroll. Meaning when you on YouTube, when you on Instagram, when you see content that is not going to feed your life and have you operating in your purpose, keep scrolling. Do not take up brain matter and give away brain cells to low-level content that's only going to be stoking your fears and your worries and your desperation. Do not be listening to stuff that's not going to help you move your story forward. Stuff that's not teaching you about being productive and being successful and taking your life to the next level as a single. You got to be doing what you need to do as a single instead of waiting on somebody to come rescue you. And yes, you tired and you drained and you stressed because you're doing too much scrolling on your phone and not enough scribbling in your notebook. You're doing too much scrolling and you're doing too much listening, and your day consists of consuming low-level podcasts with basic and low-level conversation from people who are not living what they teaching or even qualified to be teaching you anything. So you listening to people who is stealing time from your deathbed. When you get on your deathbed, you're going to look back at every one of these raggedy podcast episodes you done listened to, and you're going to be ready to pull the plug on yourself because you're going to be so mad that you gave thousands of hours to dead-end podcast conversations that did not teach you about your purpose. But what it did is it played on your desperation. See, when you take and you go, that's why we got the Blessed Business Tribe on here, and we got the Blessed Tribe. That's why only Blessed Tribe members on here. But go look at these podcasts. And when you go look at these podcasts, go to their page, go to the main page of the channel, click on videos, and then scroll through the titles of the videos. And what you're going to notice is a lot of the videos is about relationships. You're going to see about 90% of these podcasts is talking about relationships, and the hosts are single. Or you're going to see preachers and prophetess and teachers and life coaches, and all their content is about relationships. And it's like, why everybody now talking about relationships? Why everybody want to talk about relationships? You know why? Because they making money off your desperation. And all they talking about is just ignorant rhetoric. Men say this, women say this. But they ain't giving you no solutions of productivity and how to build your dream so that you don't always have to work for somebody who has hired you to help them build theirs. But they're going to give you a bunch of conversation on relationships, but it ain't going to be nothing that's going to teach you nothing and move your story forward. You just going to be sitting there listening to back and forth, to gossip. And then when you get done with it, your life in the same place. Your life ain't in the same place. When you get done with these podcast episodes, you done went backwards. Because the conversation was so low life, so low level, it confuses you. You sitting there and you like, man. So you have to think about this. And this is what I challenge these podcasters. Produce content from your expertise. Why produce relationship content if you don't have a healthy nuclear marriage? Why are you producing relationship content if it ain't working for you? How is the content gonna work for your audience if it's not working for you? So it's just like this right here. You got some finance teachers, same thing with a finance teacher. Finance teacher talking about how to make money, but they're not showing you no property that they buying. They ain't showing you none of their rental property. They ain't got to show you the address. You don't fall for that, oh, I ain't showing you because I'm for the safety of my tenants. Don't nobody know where that's at. Ain't nobody on YouTube no robbers. Jake boys ain't watching your podcast. But why you not seeing them assets? If they talking about money every day, all day, and how you could get money, but they ain't showing you no assets. Same thing with these relationships. How you listen to people who just talk about relationship, but not showing you a healthy relationship. Ain't got no healthy relationship to show you, but just got content for your views, for your eyes, to put money in their pockets. And then not only putting money in their pockets, but then gonna sell you product around relationships. Then gonna have you doing super chats during the relationship talk and prompting you for the super chats, and got the Cash App on the screen or the PayPal on the screen, got the Venmo on the screen, got the Zelle on the screen. I'm like, man, put your Social Security them up there. What you want me to direct deposit my check to you? My goodness, how much more information you gonna put up there? What's your birthday? Might as well put your address up there all the way. I'm looking at your Venmo, your PayPal. My goodness, can you just provide some content? Then I might go search out how I could get a donation to you. Why the whole screen? I can't even see your face, all the donation links. And then keep talking about, oh, everybody send a super chat. Now, if your super chat is $20, I'm finna shout you out. So guess what that is? Now, that's playing on people who feel inadequate, people who feel unseen. They going broke buying super chat so they could get a shout out. So they question of what they got to say could get read on the screen because they want to be seen, because they feel inadequate. They done spent their last dollar to get a shout out. And then on the phone tomorrow, line. On the phone with the bank. Google. $19.98. $19.90 to Google. Why would I do that? No, that was not real. Now, reversing the charges, but they got their shout out last night. Now the charge done got reversed. Charged and got reversed, they lying. Talk, oh, fraud. Oh yeah, send me a new card. No, you was on your live learning about the covenants that's keeping you single, sending super chats. We seen your butt. I'm finna screenshot and send it to your bank. Your client line. So put the charge back on and charge them that overdraft fee. But see, this the thing. Feed your life. Start your business. If you single and you ain't started an LLC or incorporation, like a nonprofit organization, you don't deserve to be married because you're not occupying your time. And I don't mean that like just that specifically, meaning what have you produced? Start a company, write a book, start a website, start a blog. Like what have you done other than go to work and go home? So that you're not even going to be attractive to somebody who is ready for a relationship, because they're gonna be like, well, what have you been doing? Oh, you just been on podcasts with single host, with single and fornicating host, and single guest talking about relationships. Oh, why is everybody talking about relationships? Everybody ain't supposed to be talking about relationships. It's only a handful of us qualified to talk about relationships. Why is everybody talking about relationships? You don't think that's strange? You think that many people is that passionate about your relationship? You think these podcasts care that much about if you find love? No. This is about money. They want money, they want views, they want significance, they want relevance, they want to be seen, they want to be known. Because if if it wasn't about money, then it would be a mixture of content. If you're doing a podcast, if it's not a love and relationship podcast specifically, then where are the business topics? Where are the self-development topics? Where are the health and wellness topics? Why are these podcasts and these YouTube channels, every single thing is only relationships if the people ain't even qualified to present conversations, host conversations, produce conversations, or give advice on something that they cannot do or have not done. It is for money. So your views and your attention is being stolen for money. And I got to go because now it's my wife time. Because I was supposed to do an hour on here. And my son looked like he just went to bed. And so I don't want to be too loud too. Because they ain't too far from my home office. And this one day ain't going to be my home office. I'm going to get this to my wife for an extra closet and a little space. Even though I bought a corporate office around the corner. But if she's going to use it 2 different things, that'll be for her girls' nights and Bible studies and book clubs up there. Her corporate office, my corporate office, separate. So that's what y'all be seeing me in. And then one day I'm going to be sitting here and you're going to see clothes or shoes behind me. I'm going to give her this as an extra closet. This was a bedroom that turned into my home office. And it's a mess right now. I got to move all this stuff out here to get my boxes out of here and stuff. But hey, I got to go holler at my wife. God bless you. What time it is? Yeah, almost going on 11. God bless you. And we'll talk soon. Hey, keep your head up. Keep your head up. Keep going. Shout out to the moderators and everybody in the Blessed Tribe. If y'all see everybody in this chat in the Blessed Tribe. I don't know how many people in the Blessed Tribe, but I think got a good little amount in there. So God bless y'all and thank y'all. And we'll talk soon. Let's see.